It is that time of the year, and that is draft and draft prospects. What is up, Finn fans? We are starting off the series of looking at the top 5 draft prospects for me pertaining to the Miami Dolphins, but these are also draft prospects I like and my top 5 of each of these positions. So we are going to start with quarterback. I'm still undecided if we're going to do receiver. It's going to be quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, tackles, interior offensive line, edge rushers, interior defensive line, linebackers, corners, safeties. That's kind of the order I'm going to go to. I'm going to give you about 2 a week until the draft starts. But we're going to start today with quarterbacks. And I am not talking about Cam Ward, and I'm not talking about Shedeur Sanders because the Dolphins won't draft them, and they won't even be in the position for the Dolphins to draft them. So I'm starting from there down and giving you my top 5, what I think about them, and all that jazz. But real quick, before we jump into this Rama Jamma, I don't even know what I'm saying. I got to shout out today's sponsor, and that is Mando. I've been talking about Mando. I've been working with Mando for a while now, and Mando is just a really great. And again, I have all these products here that Mando has sent me and I've used, especially their deodorant. It literally lasts 2 days. This deodorant lasts forever. 72 hours. More than 2 days. Incredible stuff. Safe to use everywhere. They literally have wipes for, downstairs, bonanza, your thigh, your belly button, your butt crack, your feet, everywhere. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. I know some deodorants have that stuff in it. Like, I don't know what it is exactly, so I don't want to give you false information, but it always gives me a rash on my armpits. Not this stuff. Baking soda free, paraben free, not paraben, Doug, paraben free. Again, blocks odors for 72 hours. They got creams, they got deodorants, they got sprays, they got wipes. Proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after shower, the average man's grundle odor, it's gross, was a level 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor is a 0 out of 10. So give them a try and get that Mando starter pack. It's perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant. It comes with the cream tube. It comes with 2 free products of your choice, whether you want the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for the listeners and new customers, you get $5 off your starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack using the promo code DDW at shopmando.com. That is shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. And that's how you know how to say their name properly, because it rhymes with toe. It's Mando. But for real, check it out. Use the promo code DDW. Get yourself some good stuff. I use this stuff all the time, especially the deodorant and the sprays. When I come down here, I'm like, oh crap, I stink while I'm getting ready for work. I'll just blast myself with some of this whole body deodorant and stuff. I'm telling you, it really works. So go check them out and use the promo codes. We're going to jump into this, and we are going to start from 5 to 1 with the draft prospects. My number 5 is Quinn Ewers out of Texas Longhorn. He's 6'2", 210. Didn't run a 40 at the combine. To me, he kind of had a down year, and everyone's looking at Manning, right? Everyone's looking at what Manning's going to do and all that stuff. And I feel bad for him. He has the arm talent, right? He has the accuracy. He has the zip. He has that flick of the wrist throwing motion. It's just what happened in 2024 kind of hurt him, right? He has that backyard football style playmaking ability, shows more confidence and consistent in the lower body throws in 2024 versus the other times. But he has bad habits. And this is why I have him down at number 5, right? He's got the arm talent, but he has the bad habits when it comes to his pocket presence. He gets very panicky if people come near him. He has inconsistency in his accuracy, especially his deep passes. He holds the ball too long. It's like all of these things with the late reads, the freezing, everything in the pocket. Now, here's the thing, though. And I know the Dolphins kind of probably have a little bit of an enamoring for Quinn Ewers. So will they take him? I don't know. I will talk about that at the end of the video, or I might talk about it in another video. When it comes to will the Dolphins draft the quarterback, give you the short answer. I don't think so, because there's no future with these guys. They don't know if they'll be here next year. But he has the stuff that I tell you guys all the time with the intangibles that you can't teach, right? The arm accuracy, the flick of the wrist, the zip, all of this stuff, the legs, the mobility, yada, yada. He struggles with the stuff that you can teach, with the pocket presence, with the concrete feet, with the, trying to squeeze the throws in that aren't there, with the bad lower body habits, all of that stuff, right? His footwork, his pocket presence, post-snap read diagnosis, all of that stuff is stuff that can be taught, can be worked on. The stuff that can't is the arm strength and the accuracy and well, not the accuracy, but the arm strength and the zip and all that stuff. So I have him at my number 5. I could see him possibly going from like round. Someone might overreach for him, especially if a team like the Giants aren't able to get a Jaxson Dart, aren't able to get, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, they pass on him. They might take a Quinn Ewers in the 3rd, 4th round. But that's kind of where I see him going in those later rounds. But I like him. Again, 6'2", 210. He's 22, junior. But I have him at 5 because of the things he needs to work on with his pocket presence, right? Reminds me a little bit of Tannehill and how he had the concrete feet and he would take unwarranted sacks and all that stuff. My number 4 on my list. This guy, right? He's up there in age, and we're going to talk about that, and that's why he's number 4. His last name threw me for a loop, right? It's Tyler Shough out of Louisville, right? The Cardinals. Here's why his name threw me for a loop. Look how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Shough, S-H-U-C-K, but it's spelled S-H-O-U-G-H, like tough, but with the S-H in it. So you think it'd be Shough, but it's pronounced Shough. And I literally went and I watched his highlights and heard the announcers and heard how Shough. Bananas and pajamas, like craziness. Now, I have him at number 4, and there's a big reason I have him at number 4. I do like him. If the Dolphins do draft Shough, I wouldn't be upset about it, right? He's 6'5", 225. He's a tall guy, big body, ran a 4.63. He's not crazy fast, but that's not a problem. Again, the height, he can see over the middle of the field, can see over the offensive line, all that stuff. NFL caliber, arm talent, ability to make the throws, great velocity, great angles. He's got the arm strength. It's good, but it's not great. So again, he can make those throws, and he has the ability to correct his touch on passes. Again, he has the arm. He has the NFL ready arm. He has the height. Again, speed, at a 4.63. Again, it's not slow. It's not, Tom Brady. I think he ran like almost a 5. But here's the problem. He's going to be 20. He's 25 now, right? I think he'll be 26 when the season starts. He's not young, and he has a long history of injuries. So he will be a Dolphin. It's a joke, but also it's not really a joke. 2 shoulder injuries and a collarbone, which is a problem, right? Again, he's old, limited mobility, 4.63, throws off his back foot, his footwork needs help, and limited experience operating under center. There's a lot of shotgun stuff, a lot of, back in the, PFF has him as his comparison is Chad Henne. So the Dolphins gonna trade. It's like the planets are aligning, right? They literally have him equated to Chad Henne. He has an injury history, like all of these things. He's not very mobile. It's lining up perfectly. But for me, he's number 4. He's better than Ewers because of his play style, because of his throwing, because of the NFL ready arm. But he's not higher than anyone else on my list because of the age and because of the injury history. If he didn't have such an injury history, and if he was 22, I might have him number 2 on my list, which would be number 4 overall. I like him. His last name confuses the crap out of me. It's Shough, not Shough. It's really confusing. But if I'm I'm not 5th round, I take him. That injury history scares the crap out of me. And go back, said the same thing about Tua. Injury history the injury histories with these types of players scare the crap out of me, but you never know. Because you got a guy like Frank Gore who had how many MCL injuries, and he got injured before, and then he played forever. And then you got guys like Long that we took who had no injury histories in college, and a ton in the NFL. So yeah, he's my number 4. It's just he's too old. He's too old in those injury histories. I can't do it. My number 3 is Kyle McCord out of Syracuse, the Syracuse Oranges. 6'3", 220. Now, this guy, light on his feet, got great throwing mechanics, fundamentals, this is a guy that I would love for the Dolphins to take in the later rounds. 3rd, 4th round. Would absolutely love it. His touches on his throws, smart football player, competitor, calm in the pocket. I really like McCord, and I would really like the Dolphins to take him. But again, I don't see the Miami Dolphins taking him because there's no future. We don't know if McDaniel and Greer don't know if they'll be here next year. Again, I talked about that with the contracts. Now, they say he has the mentality, and this is a quote, the Baker Mayfield mentality without the Baker Mayfield arm. So that cockiness, but he doesn't have the same arm, right? Too comfortable throwing off his back foot. That is a big detriment, especially in the NFL. If you get the pressure, you throw off your back foot, you'll sail it. A ton of interceptions. Below average arm strength when it comes to the NFL. So again, he's got the great touches on the passes. He's got great mechanics. He's got great throwing motion, all that stuff. Kind of think like Chad Pennington-ish. And then his turnover worthy plays are really high. So they need to hone him in, essentially, right? He's like they said, Baker Mayfield mentality, but no Baker Mayfield arm. So you kind of have to take McCord and you have to hone him in. So again, to me, the Dolphins take him in the 5th round. They have 2 5th-round picks. I'm okay with that. Got to hone him in, let him stay in his lane, understand what his strengths are, understand what your weaknesses are, and go from there. He's got the mechanics and the fundamental. He just needs to work on it here. And again, that is stuff that can be taught, except for, again, he has about an average arm. It's nothing crazy. Even some say below average. I like him. 6'3", 220. Again, 5th round. And that's where I would take a quarterback. I would actually take a quarterback in the 3rd round, right? Right now, we just have Tua and we have Zach Wilson, so you need that number 3. Could Kyle McCord be that number 3? Possibly. I would take a gamble at a late round or mid-round quarterback, but again, I don't know if they will. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't know if they will because there's no future. Well, there's uncertainty of the future. I'm not going to say there is no future because, again, you never know. They can come out and light it up. The Dolphins win a playoff game, and all of a sudden everyone's like, all right, then there is a future. This is the uncertainty of the future. Number 2 on my list. And I actually would not be upset with the Dolphins taking him, even though this guy's kind of from a team that we already have someone from, and that is Jalen Milroe. 6'2", 225 out of Alabama. He's a dual threat quarterback, right? And I think he's going in the 2nd round, possibly 3rd round, the latest. But he's a dual threat quarterback. He's got the legs, he's got the athleticism to make people miss. Experience in the RPO. So again, that kind of fits into the wheelhouse of the Miami Dolphins. Can show touch and accuracy on deep passes, but here's the negative. And again, can show it, but he has accuracy issues. They vary. And that's his biggest detriment, and that's probably why he's not a first-round talent, kind of like a Lamar Jackson, is because he'll show the accuracy on the run, and then he'll also show the inaccuracy on the run. Plays with the ball loose, out while he's running, loose on his stance. His accuracy dips as he starts to run. He struggles to see non-primary defenders on the run. It's like once the pocket breaks down, or once he decides he's going to take off running, he kind of gets tunnel vision, right? So he has a hard time seeing the defenders. He needs to work on his fundamentals to add to his mobility. And that is something that, again, can be taught, because he has the things that can't be taught with the athleticism, with his legs, with his touch passes, with the arm strength, with the experience in the RPO. He just needs to learn how, okay, if you're going to break the pocket, know that you don't have to, but if you're going to escape the pocket, you're going to roll out. He needs to learn to scan the field. He needs to learn to see the defenders, to see the passes, and also work on his accuracy to throw on the run, because again, it dips. Not saying he's inaccurate, but it goes up and down. It's very inconsistent. Will the Dolphins take him? I don't know. 6'2", 225, 2 Alabama quarterbacks on the same team. Hilarious to me. I don't know if the Dolphins take him. Like I said, I can see him going mid to late second round. I can even see him going third round. I think his mobility is what's going to push him up the board, and people are going to be like, well, we can teach him to learn the other things while he's showing things like the mobility and the arm strength. If the Dolphins did take him, I'm not going to be upset about it, but I don't think so. I think the Dolphins have bigger things they need to address than quarterback, especially with the addition of Zach Wilson, which we all know how I feel about that, but he's my number 2. He's definitely my number 2, which means he's my number 4, because I have Cam Ward 1 and I have Shedeur Sanders 2. So I have him 4. I like him. He's got to work on some things though, and that's why he's not a first-round pick. Now, let's talk about a first-round pick that wasn't a first-round pick about a month or 2 ago, and that's my number 1, Jaxson Dart out of Mississippi. And it's funny to spell Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI. I have to say that. It's kind of like when you spell banana and you sing the Gwen Stefani song. No, is that just me? It's just the dyslexics in the room. But Jaxson Dart, 6'2", 225. I honestly would think early second. Right? You didn't get your quarterback in the first round, whether you're the Giants, whether you're the Jets, whether you're, any of these teams, the Raiders, you get him in the second round. But you look at Jaxson Dart, 6'2", 225, got that poise in and out of the pocket, great on his feet, light on his feet, can take off, he can run. We've all seen him do it. We saw him do it at the Senior Bowl. He will step up in the pocket, above average mobility and escapability. But here is where the downfall is, and why, to me, he's not a first-round talent, but he might go in the first round because of it, but we'll see. He forces his first reads a little too much. Average arm strength when it comes to the NFL. His deep ball accuracy and touch is kind of lacking there. He needs to work on it a little bit. He needs to work on looking off receivers. He needs to work on kind of scanning the defense. He takes what he does when it comes to the off script plays and the mobility and stuff. He does it too much, right? So he'll take off when he shouldn't, and he gets a little too comfortable trying to throw it off his back foot or try to throw it when he's doing it. And he doesn't have much of an experience under center, and that's kind of need that in the NFL. He has played multiple sports, baseball and football. So there's that whole, I can go off a plethora of people: Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Colin Kaepernick, all these guys who have played football and baseball. Now here, let me talk about Jaxson Dart. I like Jaxson Dart. Dolphins aren't taking Jaxson Dart. I think Jaxson Dart goes in the first. But I don't think he goes in the first like I'm hearing other people talking about him going the first. Some people think like the Giants might take him at 3. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't think he goes before 15. Like, we saw that happen with Kenny Pickett. We saw that happen with Mac Jones. He kind of went in the first when he kind of probably shouldn't have, even though I feel like with Mac Jones, it's more of a situational thing. What I think is going to happen with Jaxson Dart is I think somebody's going to trade back into the first to take him for fear that he won't make it to them in the second. I think he's an early second round pick. Me personally, like I said, I think somebody like the Raiders, the Giants, the Jets. I'm just trying to think of people who might not take a quarterback in the early rounds because either Ward or Shedeur is gone. We'll take them. We'll trade up, right? So say the Giants are afraid, or the Raiders are afraid the Giants are going to take him. They'll trade into the first to get him. But I don't think he's first round talent. I think he has some things to work. I think there's only 2 quarterbacks in this draft that are first round talent, and that is Cam Ward, who should go number 1 to the Tennessee Titans, and Shedeur Sanders, who should go to the Raiders. But will he go to the Giants? That's going to be an interesting one. But that's what I got. Those are my 5-1. Ewers at 5, Shough at 4, McCord at 3, Milroe at 2, Jaxson Dart at 1. Comment below. If I said anything you disagree with, let me know. I started my draft process, so I'm getting more comfortable with these prospects. But hey, if you've been watching college football forever and you've been watching all season and I missed something, let me know. Comment below. I learn more from you guys. So let me know what you think of my 5-1. Let me see your 5-1. And I will see you tomorrow. I think what we'll do is Wednesday, I will do running backs, and maybe Friday I'll do receivers, unless more news breaks. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. And fins up.